Pour some very hot water into a plastic container, and I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of a dark brown RIT fabric dye. And I'm just mixing the beads around in the dye. I drained the beads and gave them a quick rinse, and this was just from being in the dye for just a couple of minutes. I also dipped some 6-inch craft dowels. So while I'm waiting for the beads to dry off a little bit, I'm taking some 6-inch wood circles. I have 3 of them here, and I am just going to use some multi-grip all-purpose strong glue to glue the 3 of them together. I'm going to take one of the dowels and I'm going to hot glue it to the side of this. Once the glue is set up, I'm just going to take the wood beads and I'm just going to stack them on the dowel. I'm finding that if I just add a little drop of glue to the base bead, it seems a little sturdier. I'm taking the same jute and I'm going to wrap it around the base to hide the sticks and all the ugly hot glue. I'm going to show you 3 ways you can style it at home. If you like real plants, I do. It looks really pretty if you have like a flowing little succulent like this. Or if you don't like real plants, you could use a few little shorter greenery stems. And then your third option, put some water into your little pot, and I just ran out of my garden and cut some fresh flowers, and you could just put a little flower arrangement in there. How pretty is that?
All right, so I'm going to be starting this project with a couple of things. I have a cylinder vase from the Dollar Tree, and then this is actually a substitute for an item that I was trying to also find at Dollar Tree, but I could not find. The bolster for pool noodles is what I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. I was able to find this epoxy pen holder on Amazon, so I'll make sure to link it so you can get it yourself if you really like the look of this, but I really felt like it was a decent substitute for the project that I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to take my paint marker and I'm going to basically just trace, so I have a little bit of a guide. It doesn't need to be a really bold guide, it just needs to be around basically the circumference of the base. And I'm going to be taking an X-Acto blade, and just be careful. Don't try and put your fingers in front of your line of cutting. We don't want to have to slice any fingers. And I'm going to keep following this, and I'm going to try and go a little deeper every time. And essentially we're just going to be going as far down to the bottom of this as possible so that our vase can fit inside of it. All right, so now that I have hollowed out the center of my foam circle, I'm going to be using Mod Podge to cover the foam because I'm going to be painting this, but I want to make sure that the paint doesn't necessarily sink in to the foam. So to create a barrier and something that'll dry relatively quickly, Mod Podge or like Elmer's glue or just craft glue, whatever you have access to in your craft supply would work. Just something that will dry quickly, but also will create that barrier, so it just makes the painting step a lot easier. Okay, so now this is all dry. This is all like Mod Podge. I added a little bit of a tacky glue as well. So it's all dry, and we are going to use a Dixie Belle paint in the color Savannah Mist. It's kind of a light bluish color, so we are going to shake it up, and we are going to use a sponge brush. We are going to paint. I'm going to paint this whole thing this color. And why I think using a glue is a good way to start is because it really does kind of create a surface that will make painting a little bit easier. Also, it won't like suck up all the paint. All right, so now that this has been completely painted, I'm going to be putting my vase into it. I'm gonna make sure it is all the way on. All right, so let's go see it staged in my home with a candle in it. And here is the finished product. These 2 foam boosters really have transformed into chic and modern decor. I'm really happy with the end result.
Start to paint your pots and saucers with a matte finish paint or chalk paint. I used white, and I really liked using a foam brush for this project. Clay pots really absorb paint, so you may need to give your pots 2 to 3 coats so they are fully covered. Your first coat can be a rough coverage coat, but for your second or third coat, paint the pots in the same direction and with even brush strokes. Next, take a paper napkin in a design of your choosing and separate the 2-ply layers. Turn your saucer upside down onto the patterned napkin. Draw a circle about 1 inch wider than the saucer and cut it out with scissors. You can freehand this if you want, but I always like a rough pattern. Now, take the saucer and brush the decoupage glue to the inside of the tray, so the bottom and sides of the saucer are covered. Place the paper napkin circle, pattern side up, on top of the saucer and press down in the center to anchor the napkin. Then take a piece of wadded plastic wrap and smooth the napkin out across the saucer bottom and up the inner sides. To remove the excess paper napkin from the top, dip a small paintbrush in water and brush along the top of the saucer. Add a final layer of decoupage glue over the top of the napkin-covered saucer and let it dry completely. And now for the best part. Take a strong adhesive glue and place a ring of glue around the bottom of the terracotta pot. Now place the saucer on top of the bottom of the pot. Let me say that one again. Place the saucer on top of the bottom of the pot, so the napkin pattern is facing upward and the pot itself faces downward under the saucer. You now have a beautiful clay pot candle holder. Group 3 candle holders of different sizes together and style simply with pillar candles or faux candles.
Turn your box of extra table legs and parts into something gorgeous. First up, I want to flatten the round end out on this one a little bit. Along with my table legs, I've also grabbed some empty wooden spools. These will allow me to slip the leg screws right down into the hole, and I won't have to worry about removing those screws. I'm using contact cement to attach all my pieces together. I want to start with the main pieces and stack them up. Now that the main pieces are together, I want to add a base and a top. I had a stack of these flower pot bases, and they're going to be perfect. With everything nice and secure, I want to paint the pieces all white. Painting them with one color will make them look really cohesive instead of a bunch of random things stuck together. I'll have to do probably 3 coats of paint to have it look nice and even. To give my new pieces a worn and weathered look, I want to distress them. I'm using that same gritty sandpaper to distress the high parts. I want to keep the distressing to the edges and the parts that stick out the most so that it looks natural. To style my new candle holders, I want to put the tallest one in the middle. Groups of 3 always help to make something look balanced, so I always try to put 3 things together. I love adding natural elements to my decor, so I'm going to add some dried moss to the top of the candle holders. Next, I'm going to add my candles. I want to keep them all a similar color so they look really nice together. I've chosen some lovely cream ones that I can place right onto the dried moss. I'm so glad I saved these old table legs and parts and could turn them into something so pretty. I hope this has inspired you to turn your old table legs into something lovely as well. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Home Talk. I'll see you next time.